Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm going to go to another project, but I figured I might stick with the Arktos for now, since I already did, I think it was like 2 videos. There was some other stuff I wanted to do. Now that I've been kind of using it more crawling and not recovery or so, I didn't end up really doing that too much. That's why I took the roll back off, and then I made this bed. But this bed now, I've been trying to do a little more crawling type stuff instead. And now I get hung up on this a lot. I was getting hung up on the boxes. So I decided to go on a little weight loss journey with it and make it a little more crawler based. The bed alone was 144 grams. The boxes with that made it 170, and this was all up high, pretty high weight. So 170 grams is, I think it was around 11 or 1200 total when I weighed it last. So should be getting closer to 1,000. Maybe even a little less, since we're getting some smaller stuff in there. Smaller motor, um, smaller ESC. Going to be adding the uh, aluminum axle housing, which I think is almost the same weight. We'll see when I swap it all out. I'm going to be putting in a big kid tiny truck, Escape 32 ESC, and their BKTT Icing VT V2 motor. I was going to maybe put this into the rock fan, but I originally did buy it for the Arktos, but I decided I kind of want to keep that one with the stock controller and everything. So I'm just going to keep it that way and just upgrade this for now, because this one already has a radial link connected to it and everything. So far I've made a bed, quote unquote, really just a cover for the wiring in the back. So that runs from the back to the front, and then to cover the servo area and whatnot. I have another one printing. This one was off by about 0.5 millimeter up here. So when I screwed it in, it would bow it up. So that should be good to go after this next try for printing. I'm going to start out by doing the motor, because that's the one I'm questioning the most, because I just don't know if this is going to fit in there or not. And if not, then maybe try to do like some kind of an adapter. If not, then we'll see. But I'll start with that. I'll come back when I'm about to take the motor out, because I've found the easier way to take it out instead of taking the whole transmission out. And I'm not sure if anyone posted about it, so I figured I'd go over it. Instead of taking the whole thing out, you just take 4 screws out for the transmission nose where the motor is. So I'll be back with that once I get to that point. All right, cabs off, chassis area off. The easiest way for me to take off the motor, this is just 2 screws on the front, which I didn't really actually have to take off for here. Just make it easier. And then there's 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4 to take this off. And then I take out the 2 bottom screws here. I loosen up this screw, and this one I haven't put back in yet because I was doing some other stuff. Take off the shocks to drop down the axle. We probably don't need to do that just to give you extra room. The reason it's easier for me to do it this way is because I hate taking the shift servo out, because if you bend that, or if you take off the horn and put it on wrong, your shift points are all out. It's just really aggravating to get back in. And then you can put this frame to the side, and there's a screw right here. Yep, okay, right there on the side here. You take that out. And there's a screw on the bottom here. I also do it this way too, so I don't have to take off the drive shafts. This one's right next, literally right next to the drive shafts. Doesn't want to focus because my hand's there, but you can kind of see it. You'll see once you get in there. It's only 2 facing forward. And then the other 2 screws that take off the transmission like horn for the motor mount are these 2 on the top. You can do this without taking like almost all of this out. You just got to squeeze between everything. So it just kind of gets annoying. I've even done it with taking this screw out on the side without pulling that chassis to this, chassis out through the outside here. And that's why it's actually scratched up, because it was one of my first attempts right there. But instead of scratching it up even more and making it worse, I just ended up taking that area out, because you have to take this part off anyways when you get the transmission out to mount the motor. There you go. Those are out, and the motor just pops out. Just watch out for the gears and everything. They'll come with it a lot of times. And then you got the whole thing out. I'll take this apart, clean it up a little bit, and then see if that icing motor is going to fit. Okay, I bet everyone was saying the same thing as soon as they saw what I was trying to do. It don't work that way. Didn't even think about it. This has like a 1.5 millimeter shaft. This has a 2 millimeter shaft, I believe it was. Also, the output of the shaft doesn't even come close to long enough. And then I wouldn't have been able to put that pinion on this one. I would have had to find a pinion for the same mod as that one. I think it's mod 0.4 when I emailed them about it a while ago. And then now, it's kind of widely known anyways. But just to confirm, I emailed them a while ago when I was doing the Hobby Mini 16 on this. Yeah, it's not going to work. So I guess, and also the spacing was off. I mean, you could have made it work. Honestly, if the shaft was the right size, I probably would have made it work, because this is a smaller hole and it would have fit through. Like the 2.5 millimeter bolts for these motors, and this is a 2 millimeter, and it actually did line up ish. It's just not. It wasn't centered in the hole. I would have probably made it work, but there's too many variables to make it not work, so I didn't do it. So this, I guess, will be going on to one of the actual SCX 24s, like it was intended for, which kind of stinks because I don't really work on those as much as I used to, but whatever. So I'm just going to jump onto the front axle. Once I get that apart, I'll come back and show you. I did in the meantime before too, swap out the servo, one of these Enduro 7 kilograms, because I had it sitting around. I had a 3-pack of them. The other, I don't know where I put it, but the GDW that I had in there was working great, but it started to wig out the last time I was out, and it would just full lock, wiggle, wiggle, and it would come back after a while, but it was just getting really frustrating to deal with. So I just figured I'd swap out for one of those. Also, the shift servo stopped working on me a while ago, and I kept forgetting about it, but it was stuck in low gear, so I didn't really care too much. So I put in the stock servos on the front of here. I put into there, and then when I took this servo out, this is the one for the shift, I could see the water coming out of it. So this is definitely not I never thought it was anyways, and it's definitely not waterproof. And I was going through some water with this one at that point. It had kind of fallen in, actually. So it was a little more than I usually would do. I usually just do it, maybe up to the axle, but it kind of took a tumble. So that's probably where that went haywire. But that one working great. This one's also, it's all plastic gears inside, I think, whereas this one was a stock one with at least the output was metal. I don't know what the internals, but seems to be working fine so far. Also, when I was working on that, the print finished, and now it's like perfectly flat. It was off by literally 0.5 millimeter with this bolt hole, so it was making it bend up. And then I did it the other way. I think it was 1 millimeter, and it bent up this way. Did only 0.5 millimeter, and now it's perfectly flat. And this is really just to cover up the wires. It just looks a lot better, I think. But yeah, I'll cut it now, take out the front axle, swap all the internals, and see you after that. All right, axle's all torn down. Probably only took for 5 to 10 minutes. Doesn't take long. When you're taking it apart, you're going to take out top and bottom for the C-hub. Just watch out for the little hats. They go up inside here. They're going to fall out as soon as you take out the knuckles and everything. I just kept it as one unit, came right out, no problem. Once you get those out, you can take off the 2 top screws. They're actually longer, and that holds the servo mount on the top. And then the 2 screws on the bottom are the smaller ones. They're going to come out separately. I don't think we reuse those, though, because it's all shorter and everything. There's one long bolt on here to take out for the 2 upper links. It's a bolt and a nut. And then there's a shock in the lower link, or a screw here and a screw here, and then this pops out. Honestly, I almost feel like this plastic one weighs more. 6 grams. 14. Well, I just can't feel correctly, I guess. They're just so close, I think. 6, 14. So I mean, you pick up like 8 grams. Almost useless. Honestly, I just kind of thought it was going to look good. Was hoping to pick up a little more too, if possible, but didn't really matter to me if I did or not. The disassembly is the same as reverse of assembly kind of thing. So, but I figured that's easy to take everything apart. Putting it back together, a lot of times people have a problem because they forgot how it goes. When you take this out, make sure you take all the bearings out of it. This one, the bearing came out with it. The back one got stuck in there. Not hard. I just pushed it through I pushed it this way with a 3mm hex just to push it through. So you're just going to take this, put it through. This bearing's going to be on this side. Kind of a loose fit. I wouldn't say they're so loose that they're going to be an issue, but they're not going to stay in there when you're assembling this. So I would put the drive shaft back on to hold the bearings in. It's like that already tried to fall out on me. So that's in. Both the bearings are right there. They didn't fall out at all for me. It falls right into place. The new cover right on top. Yeah, that seems fine. And take out the baggie of bolts. And it does actually come with instructions. I was kind of surprised about that. But, oh yeah, it does M2x8. It actually does tell you the sizes. Yeah, M2x8, M2x6. Yeah, okay. So you're just reusing the stock hats and everything like that. Yeah, there's 4 longer ones. And those are the ones you're going to put in. Just wanted to make sure. Oh, hold on. I was going to add a little bit of grease. If I can find it. Hold on. It's already got some grease in there, but just want to add a little bit since it's new housing. I use marine grease, which sucks to clean if you ever have to. But, and that just all popped out, but whatever. So there we go. It's fine. You don't even need a ton. I was going to do the trick where the Shop Mini RC had talked about it. You take the ring and pinion out of the front of the Arktos and put it in the rear of the FX118 Fury Wagon or the Forester or Harvester or whatever, any of those CR18P ones, because they have a faster ring and pinion. But I kind of trail a little bit with this still to get 2 places sometimes with the kiddo, and I don't want to maybe dragging my butt, the whole way. So I figure I'm just going to keep it like this. It's been doing pretty good as it is. If I want to later on, maybe I'll do like the portal gears or something, or maybe I will just swap it out. I'm just not really feeling like it today because it's been working good. It doesn't seem to be a top and bottom to this at all. This side seems the same as this side. 90 degrees, you can't fit it at all. That should fit there perfectly. Yeah, I'm going to do that after. I'm going to put in the knuckles and everything. Pop that down in. Oh, we got to put the hats in. The hats are always annoying to me because they like to fall out. But if you kind of do it all at the same time, and if you had an extra hand or 7, seeing that fell. You could put a dab of grease on there if you want to. I just really don't want to put grease on and attract dirt while I'm driving around. And then I just kind of twist the portal while I'm trying to fit it in. There we go. And it did come with new screws for these. I have no idea why I'm trying to still do this with this. And then bring it around, get that started. There we go. I was going to get it started, but it didn't want to. Put that in. Twist until it goes in. Got that one. And this comes around here. So you turn it and get to this side. I still have the stock servo mount too, unlike the rock van. I haven't had an issue with it, so I just never swapped it out. At the time, they didn't have it in stock anyways. Yeah, there we go. You push it all the way to one side, and you should be able to sneak the bolt down through. Like that. In between. I don't know how it is on the actual links for this. You know, kind of like the rock fan has, the ones that match the 4 links. But at the FX118 links, I can do that no problem. I'll probably just check all these since I just did this recently. Nope, it wasn't this recently. This was the rock fan I did, but I'll check them anyways. Good to go. Now, like I said, I had put on an Enduro 7K servo because what I had laying around. The horn is these have a normal 25 tooth horn like any other regular 1/10 servo, and I just don't have any smaller metal horns. But this plastic one's a pretty sturdy one that came with. I just put on the second hole up because that one it's not necessary, and it's going to hit here with this. So that is ready to go back in. I'll put it back in, and I will come back. All right, front axle's back in. While I was doing that, I noticed that the 2 of these stock shocks decided to puke their guts out on the last outing I had. And then I realized that one of them, the stock Arktos, the caps just kind of push on, and that's it. They don't tighten. Like, they just kind of, they just spit in there. They're just like a pressure fit. Well, I just had swapped out the shocks in the rock van, and that one, they actually do spin on. So I just put those on the back. I still have those Nexx Racing longer ones on the front. So we'll see how those go. Also, with the 6x6 not having a lot of weight on the back anymore, I took the springs off of the center axle. A lot of people do this on like the 1/10 trucks because you don't really need that much springing, especially with, I mean, it's almost sitting up, you know. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, front axle's back in. I started with doing the lower with the shock with those 2 in, drive shaft in, and then I did the top upper, and then I connected the shocks. So we're pretty much back to a roller, you know, with electronics in it, but you know. Next, I'm going to put the body back on, and I will start cleaning up the electronics that I had in it. I just kind of want to get rid of this. I'm thinking that was what I had for my light controller to plug all the lights into. If I can make it fit, I'll just keep it. It's not that heavy, but I'm trying to keep everything in the cab now that I don't have the lower boxes, so I don't get hung up on anything. So we'll see how it goes. All right, I'll put back together. This is definitely what I was envisioning for more of a compish style truck. I might get rid of the bumper eventually. I kind of like the lights back there though, so I might integrate something with it. As of right now, they're not even connected because I had chopped it off. I kind of forgot that that light controller that ran those lights that came with only does like 4 volts or 5 volts. In the I connected it to the receiver, and it instantly blew them. So, and that puts out 6 volts. So I'm thinking into like 4 or 5 volt ones, and I totally forgot about that. So I'll be swapping them out. I might just make a little stubby bumper with a couple LEDs instead of that bigger one. But for now, it'll be fine. I was looking back, and I think I think I said 1141-ish or so when I weighed this before. So I'm kind of curious on what we're looking at now. The rock fan ended up around 750, I think, or so. So zero this out. Maybe. There we go. Uh, 1010, it looks like. Yeah, 1 kilogram and 12 grams, so I believe that would be 1012. So it's about 300 grams more than that one with that whole rear section and everything. Plus it has the battery in it. So I dropped about 100 and something grams taking off that bed, which is pretty much just what the bed weighed. So I thought it was going to be a little bit different, taking out a couple other things, but I didn't take out much. I replaced the steering servo with this Endura 2065 7 kilogram. We'll see how that goes. It's pretty quick. Like I said, the 2-speed I swapped out with the stock servo that was on here, but this seems pretty good. We are in neutral. I always kind of hated how loud this stock transmission is, but it says what it is. Front ones, I had placed those out with 12-volt LEDs because that's some of the ones that I had blown to. But yeah, we'll see how this ends up going. I'll get out on the rocks hopefully tomorrow and get some footage for you guys to see. Kind of bummed I didn't get that brushless in. Really just hoping that icing would fit in here, but I didn't even think about those other things like the shaft size and whatnot. So we'll go from there. But yeah, I'll be back in a bit for you guys at least with an update on how it went. All right, and back from the rocks. Definitely did better than with the bed on, let me tell you. Losing that top weight helped a ton. The shorter shocks in the back definitely helped. It didn't unload as much going up on a hill. This would just load, unload as soon as I did it. The longer shocks in the front, I'm totally fine with everything so far. I just kind of like the articulation for the front to kind of grab up on the top of the rocks on the edges. The pumpkin didn't get caught up much at all. Got some scrapes on like usual, but nothing really hard hit and stopping me. I ended up fixing the rear lights. Threw in some 12-volt LEDs like I usually have on the front, and they're all wired just into the receiver because I don't turn them on and off anyways, so just on solid. The part number for that axle housing is 240476 from Hobby Plus. Fit right in there, no problem at all. It was a great fit. I don't think I'm going to do the rear ones just to kind of keep. I know it's only 8 grams extra, but also I don't want to spend another 50 and another 50. Taking the spring out of that center definitely helped too, because it made this a little softer, this whole rear end area. So definitely be keeping it like that. All in all, definitely, it's definitely not a scale flatbed anymore, but I'm totally fine with it. It's just a lot more fun this way. It doesn't flip over as much, doesn't flop around. I think I probably keep this bumper for now. It looks fine. I'd eventually make a little smaller one just so it isn't so out there, so wide. But yeah, good to go. I'm probably gonna put this file up on Maker World. I don't know if anyone's gonna want to make it or not, but I already made it. Might as well throw it up there. And if you have any questions, put them in the comments. But I think that's it for this one. Have a good day.